If you don't know what SuperOne is, you need to know what SuperOne is, because I'm going to talk about it from a crypto perspective. This morning is all things crypto, but that's not today, because what is going on in SuperOne is a big deal. Now, if you don't know what SuperOne is, I'm going to let Corey tell you a little bit about SuperOne, and then I'm going to go into the value of the token and where that value is going over the next 2 to 3 months, actually, and how to maximize your token returns over those next 2 months. If you don't get your friends involved in the next week, each week they don't get involved after that, they're going to get less and less value. And I'm going to go into that. And very, very important for them and you to understand exactly what's coming and where we're at. The people that don't know SuperOne, why don't you tell us what that is or what that's about?
SuperOne is a new model on the blockchain where blockchain meets gaming meets networking. So these three components are combining into this one platform called SuperOne. Many of you guys have heard of a company called Fantasy. They've been around for about 21, 22 years. They work with a lot of the biggest companies in the world, like Walmart and Amazon, just name a big company, and they've worked with them. They saw what SuperOne was doing, and they said, we'd like to partner up and begin this journey with you guys. So that happened back in September of last year in 2020. And a little prior to that, SuperOne is in the phase of building their community. It's called a fanatical game swipe. It's a trivia based on the blockchain with cryptocurrency and real-time prizes that you can enter for $1 million tournaments, $100,000 cash prizes, exotic trips, and so much more. So they're tying in community with networking, with challenges, with competition, with crypto, towards the token economy. The phase that we're in right now is we're positioning ourselves for when the game launches. We didn't have to sit here and wait all these many months for this game to come out. We are right before the wave, and we're building a solid foundation of a community so that when the game launches, we want you guys to all be ready with tokens in hand, game credits, so that you'll be able to get ad boards, nuggets, and all this other stuff that we'll go into later. But just get excited, you guys. Get involved. Get some knowledge on what's going on and just start sharing, because the opportunity is here, and they have some of the best content, the best graphics, the best promo videos powered by Fantasy, and it's only getting better.
So here's what's going to happen with SuperOne, and this is why we're talking about SuperOne today. If I can figure out a way that I think that I can help your accounts grow from a crypto standpoint, when we got a lot of you guys involved a week ago or so, we bought SuperOne a little less than a nickel a token, okay? If you did the $100 package, I think it was right around a nickel a token or so. Anybody that's getting involved today to February 1st, that token has actually gone up to a dime, basically, guys. So if you got involved a week ago with it, your value's already gone up to a dime a token. So you've already doubled your initial $100 or $500 you put in. Here's what's going to happen. I have to put a caution at the end of all of what I'm getting ready to say. They're doing things with hedge funds in both US and Europe, establishing the value of the company. They're doing things with new gamers. They're bringing in a tremendous amount of infrastructure that is going to continue to drive the value of the SuperOne token. SuperOne is a company, but also the SuperOne token. Here's what we know is going to happen between now and probably June. Each week, they're going to reduce the number of tokens that you get between now and then. And here's the big deal for you guys that aren't in yet this week, to tell you that you haven't missed the boat. They're going to reduce the number of tokens that people get because they want to drive the value of the token to $1 a token by June. So if you got that token at 5 cents or a dime or 15 cents or 20 or 25 cents, we really need to get everybody involved before that token goes over 25 cents a token. Will it still be a value after that? Absolutely. But for the growth that we want, At 25 cents, we're looking at 4 times. At $500 a pack, we got 12,000 tokens, I believe it was. 500 divided by 12,000 is 4 cents. It's a little over 4 cents, actually. If they get those 12,000 tokens to go to $1 a token, and here's the caveat. In June, they're going to have a liquidity event. He didn't define that liquidity event, but what that means is some form of selling of the token in June. If they drive it to $1 a token and you were able to sell all of them if you wanted to, that means $12,000 is what you could sell your $500 in tokens for. Some of us bought the $1,000 package, but depending on what you got, you're going to get $1 value. So we're looking at $500, my original cost, 500 times 23, that's 11,500. That's a 23 times return, 23x. Is it going to be worth it at half the token, 6,000, right? So 6,000, you're going to net 5,500, right? That's 11x. So each week that they reduce the token up until about 25 cents a token is going to reduce the X factor on the potential return depending on that liquidity event, because we are all things currency. We are all things crypto, right? I'm researching 3 others right now to buy in, right? We're going to look at all kinds of emerging tokens in 2021 that have huge potential return. Now, here's what I think might happen on that liquidity event. I cannot guarantee it, but I can go on past history. And this is why we got to be on our game. This is probably one of the most powerful things. If you're involved in SuperOne and you're involved with Digi or Cooler Brands, that's one of our other companies we own. One of the powers of being involved with Digi here is understanding opportunities when they emerge. We look at them, we talk about them. We don't make any advice because we're not qualified to make that advice legally, but we talk about it as a group. Then you make your own decisions whether this is something you want to do or not. But when I see a token come out, here's what normally happens at a liquidity event. They drive the value of the token up to a price, and then they allow people to start selling the token. If I just took this move, let's say this range was $1. Here's 25 cents, 50 cents, 75 cents, $1. If we bought it at a nickel down here or a dime down here, we have a lot of room to potentially sell our tokens and still make a real value. Are we going to get the top dollar? Probably not, but we'd probably get somewhere in the 75 to $1 range if we wanted to sell it, depending on what they allow us to sell. Again, I do not know what that liquidity event's going to look like. They just said they're going to have one. So as soon as they said they're going to have one, my ears perked up and go, okay, time to wake up everybody and say, hey guys, we need to be educated here on what is our trading expectation, what is our trading goal, and what do we want to do? Well, here's what I would want to do. I would want to sell, maybe not all of it. I don't mind holding on to part of my tokens because I don't know that it might have a secondary push. It may go a little bit higher. So if I dumped all my tokens, I wouldn't be there for that secondary push. But if I hold back a portion of my tokens, I'm there. I'm ready if it goes higher. If it goes lower, okay, I just held a portion of my tokens. That's okay. But if I sold a good portion of my tokens within this range, guess what I want to do? I want to rebuy back down here at a nickel. I want to take all of this and do it again. Or I want to cost average going down this like we teach so that I'm in the game. Because why do I want to be in SuperOne? Now, I don't think SuperOne's going to do what Comp did here, which went lower. I may be wrong. This is not trading advice. This is just what I feel. I feel the infrastructure, the advertising dollars, the way they're structuring their token, and the way they're structuring the token economics of that token is phenomenal. I really believe in what they're doing. And that's why we're involved. That's the only reason we're involved, guys, is because we believe in what they're doing. I believe that it may have some pullback. it may not pull back to a nickel. I want to be really clear about that because of their infrastructure. It may pull back to a higher number, but that's why I would cost average back in with the money that I made up here if I still wanted to own that token. Now, you may not. I will choose to because I believe in the company, unless the company does something between now and then that makes me think, hey, hang on, it's not what I thought it was. But right now, as it stands, I really love what this company's doing. I really love what's going on. So here's what we need to understand. We need to understand that the value of the token that we own is going to go up every week from now to June. They're going to drive that up by reducing the number of tokens that they give out when somebody joins SuperOne. That's one way they're going to drive it up. Another way they're going to drive it up is that for right now, the company is being stabilized by being early adopters to the game concept. And as long as we're coming in and supporting that, and people are coming in and supporting that, then they have the income structure to develop all that they're developing in SuperOne. Super important that they have that, and we're providing that for them. Actually, before the game is released, they're going to start releasing elements of the game. They're going to release cards, collectibles, things that are part of that trivia game that you could actually use in the game that will have serious value in that game. And you could actually sell them, which will have that token economy valuable. So it'll make things people will be purchasing have values. Once that people are able to start purchasing collectibles and game tool, it'll be a way to use something within the game. Then the game and the token actually starts making a value based on its own sustainable economy, meaning that they're selling something that's creating real value, and that real value is going to be in the game. I had heard before that they're going to have tournaments and games where people can win up to $1 million. But what I heard today is that, and I may be wrong, I think I really heard him say that we may have one of those a day. That would be $365 million paid out a year just in one aspect of the game. Not all the trips, not all the other prizes, not all the other stuff he was talking about. So why is that important? Because of the things that they're going to start selling in a few weeks, things that people are going to actually be able to use in those games to help further them along in their answers to get to those awards, get to those prizes, get to that $1 million. So how valuable is those things that they're going to release here? Like anything, there'll probably be a real value on the initial release. I can't guarantee that. And so somebody that's collecting that NFT or that collectible that they could use in the game, and they get it at a very reasonable price originally, depending on how valuable that thing is in the game, that thing could become extremely valuable. I'm not a trivia player. I'm not good at trivia. My daughter and kids kill me always in trivia, but I'm good at buying things. So if I buy a bunch of these trivia stuff and they become real valuable, now I can sell that stuff back to the serious game players at a real profit. So it becomes another potential profit income stream.
I just wanted to add the value of getting game credits now as well, because the game credits are what you'll be able to get the nuggets with. So having your game credits where they are at now, good time to stock up on those for that very purpose.
Let me bring it right down to the simple here. We got it when it was a nickel. Today is a dime. Get them involved before the next cut. Get them as many tokens as they can possibly get. The tokens are no guarantees. In terms of infrastructure and who's involved, there probably will be some better opportunities, but they won't be much better. If they follow through on everything they're saying, this is a wonderful opportunity. And again, there's always risk in trading, and we are trading coins. There's no guarantees in trading. We look at the milestones. We look at the pieces of information that we can look at. And this is how we're going to evaluate other tokens and other coins, guys, is exactly what I'm talking about here. Who's involved? Where are they at in development? What is the real potential of stability of the token? What are those matrices that we need to understand to evaluate that coin? And boy, this one is hitting it all over the board in terms of potentially having all of those matrices done correctly. Okay.